DOC number 511795, who's a second felony offender, who was convicted of second-degree battery, attempted aggravated escape, battery of a police officer while in custody, and on January 30th, 2023, was sentenced to a total of 8 years in Webster Parish. You have a parole eligibility date of September 11th, 25. You have a good time date of June 25th, 26, and a full term date of 9/11/29. Does that sound correct to you, Mr. West?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now it's your turn to speak. Go ahead and tell us what you did to get yourself in trouble down there, and why do you think we should grant you early release today? Two separate questions.
I first committed a second-degree battery. Uh, I'm very remorseful for the victim, both physically and mentally, for the stress and heartache that I caused the victim in the situation that occurred. I take full responsibility for my actions. Now that I think back, that I made poor judgment in my decision making. I have learned that every decision I make has dire consequences attached, and I will, in future reference, stop, think, and have a better judgment of the judgments that I make. I was also charged with battery on an officer. I'm also very remorseful for the officer involved. I take full account for my actions. I made decisions without thinking them through at the time. The officer was just doing his job. As I look back on my poor judgment call, from now on, I will stop and assess the situation and think so I can make good judgment calls rather than quick judgment calls in the future. I also was charged with uh, attempted escape. I was just again I'm remorseful for the officer involved. I made another quick judgment call that later on, if I'd have thought it through, I wouldn't have made the same decision. As I look back, I realized that I need to take more time to ensure I make the right judgment calls and situations, because it doesn't just hurt me; it also hurts the people around. Uh, the reason I think I should be granted is I've learned to, like I said, think more wisely on decisions that I make, because they cause me more trouble thinking of quick decisions instead of thinking them through. Um, in general, I'm just remorseful for the people that for the victims that I made, for the people that I made victims. My poor decisions that I made in the past, it's just I make quick decisions, and I've learned to slow down and think things through instead of just acting on impulse.
All right. We don't have anyone here to testify in support, but we do have Mr. Brian Bass, who's gonna be with us through Zoom. He's a former Webster Parish deputy who was involved as a Mr. Bass. Would you tell us what you have to say about it?
All I can go by is the event of that day. I know that in that event, he exited the holding cell, and what began was a very long fight in the booking area between me and him, where this guy had, I mean, at one point in time, hit me in the head with a phone. The only thing I was thinking about through that fight was that I needed to stay conscious because there was a female in the area, and he did at one time stun me and get to this female and put a taser to her head. If this taser would have went off, hitting her in the head, she'd have died. Um, that's all I was thinking about through that fight was I had to stay conscious. I had to keep going. And what I saw in that fight with him, he absolutely wasn't stopping. I sprayed him. He kept coming, and I just, I saw too much in him that day. That if he's changed in the very recent past, I can't say anything to that because he hasn't been near me in that time. All I can go by is what happened on that day. That
He
wasn't
did
very long ago.
his hands on a female deputy, didn't he?
Yeah, he got up to her, pretty much had her in a headlock and was trying to wrestle the taser out of her hand and to her head. At which time I came behind him and got him in a headlock and was trying to chicken wing his hand away from her head to keep him from tasing her. Um, I was doing everything I could to try to get him to drop the taser. Had another deputy come in, grab the other side of him. We took him down to the ground. Was able to restrain him.
Yeah, okay.
What started the fight?
It began in the booking area. I opened the holding cell. I was supposed to put him in a paper gown. When I opened that holding cell, I guess he had it in his mind at that point in time. It was time to leave. He muscled his way clean past me and shot for the door. I had me and my staff had the sense to have them doors locked so he couldn't get out without he couldn't escape. He attempted to pick up a phone and call somebody. He couldn't figure out how to call out, at which time, like I say, me and Travis West completely destroyed the booking area. We're talking, we tore up equipment, computers, phones, copying machine, everything got destroyed in our fight.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Bass from the board?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, we also have law enforcement opposition, strong opposition, where the district attorney's office has replied they're opposed, the sheriff's office is opposed to release, the chief of police is opposed to release, and the attorney general is also opposed to release. Have you completed any anger management classes while you incarcerated?
No, sir, they don't have it here. Every class that they have available, I have taken. I even tried to go to another facility to take more classes, but I was unable. I wrote DOC trying to get to other classes, but they say it's specifically up to the facility to move me to places that have better class.
I see that you've been arrested like 12 times for 20 charges, 10 of them against a person fighting or something like that. You had 5 periods of supervision previous. At least 2 of them have been revoked. What happened during those probations to get you revoked, and why do you think if we give you another chance that it will be different?
The first one, I wasn't. I have been on probation. I missed a meeting, and she revoked me. The second one I caught. It was, I think, it was a misdemeanor, but she revoked me on it also on my second one. I think it was a 6-month probation. And if I was younger at the time, I have 3 girls now that I put my first one through college before I got into jail. My my second one is she's about to graduate, and they're the reason I wouldn't get into no more trouble. This here was a mistake. It's my fault. I take complete. I don't blame no one else but me in the situation. It's just I've learned better, and I I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize me not being with my kids. I learned that this me being away with them is it's more important to be with them than anything else.
How many years have you been in jail?
3.5.
On an 8-year sentence?
Uh, yes, sir. Well, it's right at 4, I think. It's right at 4.
All right, and where do you plan on living if we were to let you go?
Uh, for now, at my mom's house. Until I get a job, I'm planning for my job. I have welding. I'm welding certified. I'm also heavy equipment certified. I would go for my welding first because that's the most years I have in job situations in Louisiana. I have heavy equipment jobs, but I wouldn't be able to do them because they're out of state. I don't have that many heavy equipment jobs here, but I have a good welding background in Louisiana. I have a 90% chance of getting hired at the place I was before I came here, Clement Industries. I plan on staying with my mom first till I get on my feet, start my welding career back, and I want to go back to school for respiratory therapy. Uh, that's my goal. Take night classes once I get hired in the day. I also have taken a CDL class. I took the reading part, but I wasn't able to complete the driving part. So I'm going to pursue that too. It's like having a backup to any situation I have. If my day job quit, I still will have my CDL to fall back on until I finish school and respiratory therapy.
And your mother is Tracy West?
Yes, sir.
Or is she aware that you want to live with her when you get out?
Yes, sir.
According to the parole officer, they've tried to contact them numerous times, and she never returns calls, and she doesn't tell them anything like what you're saying.
She's older. If they could go by or I can call her. She even does it when I call it. The phone rings, it goes to voicemail. And she's older and she has cancer, so she don't really answer the phone a lot. I have to call several times in a day to get her to answer the phone. But she's always at home. If they could go by, she would tell you that I, she knows I plan on staying with her.
All right, that's all the questions I had. Do any of the board members have questions?
Yeah, what caused the fight with you and the officers?
It it evolved from the first situation, the fight that I had before I went to jail. I was in um when I was incarcerated, they put me around it was the family members that I actually what got me into it in the first place, that got me in the holding cell. I told the guards at the facility that I couldn't live around these people. They told me they didn't have nowhere else to put me but there. So they put me there anyway. And I eventually got into it with them. They started throwing urine at my cell. That's when Mr. Bass came and got me out of the cell and put me in the holding cell. When he opened the door and let me out for the I guess he said would put me on the ground. My quick poor judgment was to try to tell the lady officer that they was making threats against my family. And I was thinking at the time, before I even thought about it, I was thinking a woman will understand how I feel about threats with kids. And as I look back on it, it was the wrong thing to do because I came out, I ran toward her trying to tell her, which as I look back, it looks as an aggressive move. But that was not my intentions. Even though it was wrong, I admit Because as I look back at it, I would think the same thing. But that was not the case. And grabbing the phone, I did grab the phone. I was trying to, like I say, I made a wrongful, quick judgment. I consider myself calling if I can call my kid's mother to tell her she would take precautions, which as I look back, it, it I was totally thinking about my kids and not how it looks. Because as I look back at it, it looks totally wrong. Well, me running toward the guard, it looks like I'm aggressive, but I wasn't. I was just trying to let her know my side of the story. And grabbing the phone, calling out, which at the time it makes sense because I was trying to worried about my kids. But as I look back, that was a wrong decision. And if I had a chance to do it all over again, I would do it totally different. But my kids are my world, and at the time, poor judgment again, but I felt like I was doing the right thing. But
Questions?
Ms. Renats, any questions? Ms. Ledoux, any questions? You look like she's talking, though. What's she saying?
You sound like you said no. No questions asked, I guess. No questions. Will do.
No questions? All right, with no more questions, the board's now ready to vote. I'll vote first, and looking at this case, you haven't really served enough time for the crimes you committed against a woman and law enforcement. You got a good time date coming right around the corner of June 25th and 26th, which is more appropriate in my opinion. You have strong law enforcement opposition from the sheriffs and the DAs and attorney generals. We have opposition from the victims of the crime, and you committed a violent crime against law enforcement and women. All of those statements considered, I vote to deny your parole request today. Ms. Stapleton?
I concur with Mr. Barra.
Mr. Tillis?
Mr. Travis, I think you need to get some more anger management and some more classes. My vote today is going to be to deny also.
Ms. Renatson?
Yeah, Travis, I'm real pleased to hear what the staff there said about you and that you did your GED and you seem to be on the right path. I do agree with Mr. Barra, however, based on your history of violence, your history of revocation, and the strong law enforcement opposition, my vote today is to deny your parole. But keep going, keep your head up.
yes, ma'am.
Ms. Ledoux?
Mr. West, I'm pleased with your awareness of what you've done wrong. I would love to see you be able to get your pre-release and some other anger management classes, and I hope that staff is listening and reads this report, that they will decide to move you where you can get that, but my vote is also to deny.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. West? That's a unanimous decision. Today, your parole has been denied.
What do we think about convicts that attempt escape? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, please hit subscribe for new videos every week.